Bo, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Excited to finally have you here. We've been trying to pull together an interview. It almost feels like all year.
Yeah, it's been a busy year for both of us. I
You
think.
guys have been very busy, and I want to jump right in and make sure everyone knows who you are. So I've got Bo Lais here, founder and CEO of a company called Lula. Lula offers property maintenance technology backed by a network of vetted contractors, serving property managers, investors, and REITs. And you're not new to this business.
No.
You've been at this since 2017 when you took it to market. But if I'm being honest, looking from the outside in, this has been a breakout year for you guys. Can you talk about that a little bit? What has changed? What clicked? Where did the momentum come from this year? Because, honestly, it's been exciting to watch it from the outside and knowing a little bit about the inside. So I think this would be a great opportunity to, let's go ahead and gloat a little bit about the year that you guys have had.
Yeah, it's kind of reached this inflection point, I think. We've had a couple break-even months, a profitable month this year.
In startup land.
In startup land.
Let's go.
Right, so it's something to really celebrate. But really, our technology and automation and AI has really advanced this year. That's allowed us to really improve our gross margins per work order, which are really high. One of our maintenance coordinators can handle maintenance for around 1,500 doors, but the industry average is really about 300 to 400 for a good maintenance coordinator, and that's a testament to the technology that we have that's really driving that efficiency. And then, just processes over the last, year and a half, just improving those processes internally, and then just improving and curating our managed network. And the reason why I say managed network is I think there's a lot of companies out there that say they have access to vendors, right? There's a difference between having...
I have access to vendors.
That's right.
There's a Google search page.
That's right.
That has all the phone numbers, and I can call any one of them anytime.
It's not a directory of vendors, right? Like, it is a managed, constantly curated network of vendors that's... we handle the compliance and the vetting, of course, but we're constantly curating and getting the best of the best to rise to the top through our algorithm.
Yeah.
And so we're really proud of that too. And as that gets stronger, we're able to get maintenance done quicker and more efficient for our customers.
Yeah, and it's obviously very important. I mean, I think one of the things that I've appreciated about within the property management space the last few years is the emphasis on tenant experience, and maintenance and repairs directly reflects on the tenant experience and how that relates to improving, your overall financials, your return on investment, the reduce of complaints, and that sort of thing.
Yep.
And maintenance is directly tied to that. You talk about vetting this network. You guys, 5,000 is what it says on the site. 5,000 vetted professionals. What goes into that? Because again, I can go to Google,
Sure.
I can search for everything. But obviously, if there's a tighter relationship or something there, that goes a long way. And as an example, I self-manage a rental property from a distance, and it took me like 8 days to get a plumber to come out to fix a leak.
Sure.
Which is a problem. Water destroys things very quickly, so you got to get that fixed. And I had to wait 8 days. It was just. Is what it is.
Yep.
So tell me more about this vetted network and the benefits it offers your customers.
Yeah, I think it's really an extremely important piece of our business. It all starts with the rigorous vetting process. And our provider success team is only a team of 4 with 5,000 contractors across 40 markets. So it's a relatively small team.
Right.
So we are a tech company first and foremost, right? So we've leveraged technology to really automate the vetting process to a point, and then we have human intervention before we actually onboard them. But the process at a high level is like this. Look, they have to obviously provide their professional license and their general liability insurance, all that stuff, right? They have to be compliant.
Yep.
We do background checks. That's the very last thing. Those things are, table stakes, right? Like, you need those.
Are they licensed, insured, bonded?
That's right. You have to have that. They have to be compliant. But we ask them certain questions that will score them to see if they're going to be a good fit for Lula and a good fit within the property management industry. That gets a score.
Interesting.
Okay. Then we have another test that's called the competency test. For every trade, they have to answer about 10 to 12 questions in their trade, and then it scores how well they've done, so that we have an idea of, do they truly know their trade, right?
Yeah.
Are they knowledgeable and experienced? that gets a score. And then we have these different questions about different services that we ask them to price what they typically charge, such as replacing a shower valve or replacing a toilet or a garbage disposal. I mean, no property manager or institutional investor is going to pay $500 to replace a garbage disposal, right? Like, that's not going to happen. That gets a score. And then those 3 scores combined get an average score, and then that's where our provider success team focuses, the highest scored applicants.
Wow.
We get over 1,000 applicants a month. We only accept around 10 to 12%. And that's because of the rigorous vetting
1,000
process.
applications.
1,000 a month right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of vetting, and you're spot on about the cost of garbage disposal. It's literally why I had a leak, because I replaced mine. So it's a little too soon for you bringing that up here, but I mean, hey, it's all good. You guys had a really successful product launch earlier this year, and I want to unpack that a little bit.
Sure.
Called Foresight. Let's dive into it.
Sure.
What is it? What does it do? And why is this I think it's a really important step forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very new to the market. We're just doing some no-cost pilots right now, planning to turn those over into contracts next year. But in a nutshell, what Foresight is, it's an AI work order management system. It's really to help drive efficiency and automation for maintenance coordinators that are managing W-2 maintenance techs. So if you've internalized some, but also your third-party vendors. And then Lula's on-demand network actually lives inside this software, which is very unique, right? So you have access to an on-demand network in over 40 markets and growing. And we see, a lot of customers that we have today in our core business outside of Foresight, they have the confidence to go buy a portfolio or to acquire a portfolio in a state they've never operated in or market they've never operated in if we're there, because we can start delivering maintenance from day one for them. They don't have to spin up their own W-2s. They don't have to spend the resources in trying to acquire providers. But what it is we've taken, I mentioned earlier about our gross margins per work order, our maintenance coordinators being able to handle 1,500 doors. This is from our own internal software that we use every single day, right, for running our business efficiently. We've externalized that into a true SaaS product, which is Foresight, and then taken all of our learnings and improved that. And what it does is, it handholds a maintenance coordinator and makes intelligent suggestions with AI throughout the work order process, and then helps automate scheduling and then trying to make those schedules as efficient as possible for W-2s or third-party vendors. And it will actually learn and get more intelligent over time. So it can learn a lot of different things about a property. I mean, it could tell the maintenance coordinator, hey, this property has had 3 mainline clearings in the last 12 months and it hasn't been cameraed. Like, there's a bigger issue here. It will tee that maintenance coordinator up in real time, being like, okay, I've now got the history. I need to make sure I send a plumber out, a drain cleaner with a camera. Like,
we got to find out what's going on,
right?
Here,
Is the property under warranty? Is the owner want a specific vendor on this property? Things in real time at the point where you get that work order that you don't have to go back and look, and then it keeps the entire history moving forward as well inside Foresight of the property. So,
I think it's really important to point out, and there's been over the years, I think we've seen more investment into trying to, how do we bring digital solutions in combination with, in-house or property services businesses. And the challenge oftentimes becomes that tech ends up being a cost center within the company, and then it still scales linearly in that revenue is dependent on headcount. And you guys have been able to really maintain that lean staff and keeping but being able to scale beyond that. And I think that that's something that it sounds like it was done intentionally, but really good timing, because we're not in an environment where anybody can just go out and get a check with an idea that we're going to put some automation on that, and it's going to suddenly explode and be really good. It's still pretty difficult to pull that off, and you guys been at this a long time. Yeah,
we grew very quickly early on. Most early startups do, right? Like the growth.
You go from 1 to 2. 100%.
The growth rate is pretty. That's right, 100% growth, right? You're absolutely right. 2022, we really scaled very quickly, and I don't think we were quite ready for the volume that we were handling, and we almost had to slow down a little bit so we could speed up. And so in 2022, as we ended that year, we slowed down just a little bit, and then 2023. really started to get more intentional about our growth.
Yeah.
And then we re-accelerated growth in this year, 2024, which a lot of investors will tell you is very difficult to do. A lot of startups will grow very quickly and then start to plateau, and it's very hard to re-accelerate growth. We've proven we were able to do it, and a lot of that has to do with how much focus we put into our product and technology and learning where we can provide the most value for our customers. And we figured that out late last year of a new service line called 24/7 maintenance coordination contracts. So instead of just engaging customers in no contract where essentially we're a super vendor, of course we integrate with their property management system, give them real-time visibility, knock out maintenance faster and more efficiently than they've been doing previously. But we've leveled up our offering by saying, look, we will take 100% of your maintenance coordination off of your plate from your residents so that you can become more operationally lean and not have to staff as many maintenance coordinators, or just simply refocus on growing your business, right? And so we've basically said, we'll take 100% of that off your plate in exchange for 90% of the volume of work, and you're going to enter into 1-year contract. The reason why we want that 90% guarantee is we don't charge you a per door, per month fee for this service. We monetize a transaction in a split take rate, largely monetized from the provider network. And so that's really started to take off. We're averaging 1,000 to 1,200 doors a month right now that we're getting under contract, and that's just with one salesperson. But there's a lot of value there for customers not to just have that off their plate. We handle 100% of the maintenance coordination, and they can focus on growing their business.
I think that's an important lesson. I mean, just about any founder can take away, especially if you feel like, speed certainly is one of those things of it can be an unfair advantage if you can have that speed. But there's a saying in trail running, and I run trails, and is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Right. And when we think about that, like over the long run, over the distance of things, having those operations dialed in, your vetting process, the automation's actually working the way they're supposed to, slowly increasing the volume to where it makes sense, and not being crushed by your own growth or creating a scenario where you're unable to deliver. And then the product experience and the brand experience now is a negative one for everyone who's been involved in that. And certainly it's been exciting from the outside looking in to see you guys really hitting your stride, the breakout year you've had. Looking forward, what's the focus going into next year?
The focus next year is really scaling this business. Now, we've grown, but I don't think we've actually scaled. Next year is about scaling this business, looking for north of 100% growth moving forward. We're really focused on the 24/7 maintenance coordination contracts. We'll still engage larger customers in a no contract relationship, or even we'll offer a pilot in some cases for 3 months, and we've been turning those over to 1-year contracts because the value props are really strong for the customer. And then foresight is going to be a big piece of the story next year as we start to commercialize it, come out of some of these pilots with some good development partners that have matured the product, and then really start marketing that. We're planning on, we've been through a raise process, as I mentioned to you. We're probably going to make a decision on what direction we have some options in front of us. We're going to make a decision on that here in the next couple of weeks, and then, add to our leadership team and sales team and account managers and just go.
Awesome. Bo, thank you so much for joining me here live at Blueprint. Real quick, for those who want to get in touch with you, learn more about Lula, where do they go? How do they do that?
Visit us at lula.life, and you can contact us there. We've got our 800 number, our email address. Shoot us a message. Happy to answer questions, socialize about the industry, or potentially serve you. So I'm happy to do that as well.
Appreciate it. We'll catch you later.
Thanks, Nate.